6:10. The next day, Naruto woke up earlier than all the other members of the Straw Hat crew for two reasons. One, if you wanted some private time on the Thousand Sunny, you needed to be up when everyone else was asleep, and since he was only 7, night watch was out of the question. As quietly as he could, Naruto snuck to the rear of the ship and pulled out, for the first time since he left, the scrolls that he took from Konoha. Kid, we are on what can be considered a permanent cruise. Might I inquire why the hell you are choosing to do something that can be considered studying? I'm studying because if we ever return back there, I want to show them all exactly what they threw away like last year's model, Naruto replied as he opened the scroll of sealing. Well then, might I suggest learning the shadow clone technique first? It says that it requires a lot of chakra, and for your information, Kurama, the amount needed for this jutsu is pretty big. Well then, do those scrolls mention any exercises that can help with your control? Yeah, according to my former family's scrolls, there are 2 big exercises that can be done to improve control. They also say that physical conditioning can improve the size of your chakra network. Naruto, I have an idea that can help you with this. Oh yeah, and what is it? Ask Zoro if you can work out with him. You've seen firsthand how strong he is. I'm sure if you ask him, he'll say it's okay. It seems like that's a good idea. Do you have any other ideas? Naruto asked the fuzzball. Instead of tree climbing, how about you do mast climbing? What's that? Naruto asked, confused. Thanks to his stupidity, Kurama was forced to do a double facepalm. You are an idiot. Switch mast with tree, then you'll see what I mean, Kurama said through his paws. Oh, so you mean I climb the mast instead of the tree? Naruto said, putting his hands together, making the connection. Why me? My chakra was sealed in a brat while I was sealed in a selective idiot. Kurama complained. Well, in all honesty, it could be worse. Did you say something, fuzzball? Yeah, I did. Do you still remember yesterday? Yeah. What of it? Naruto asked. We are nowhere near finding out what the hell happened. Aren't you still curious? Kurama asked. I think instead of asking Luffy or Nami Swan, we should just ask Robin-chan. She seems to know everything that happens on this ship. Alright, next time we see Robin, I'll ask her. Ask me what, Naruto-kan, said archaeologist asked as she appeared out of nowhere. Eep. Naruto screamed as he jumped back in surprise. Robin-san-chan, when did you get here? Naruto asked as he rubbed the back of his head. About 3 minutes ago. By the way, Naruto-kun, were you just talking to Kurama-san just now? She asked with a smile. Yeah, I was. Hehe, Naruto laughed, but it wasn't anything important. Oh, so learning how to use chakra and a forbidden jutsu aren't anything important, she replied as she held up the scrolls Naruto was just reading from behind her back. Huh? When? Both Naruto and Kurama asked. Robin replied by blooming an arm with eyes on it. I'm a fast reader, you know. Oh yeah, devil fruit. Stupid, Kurama said as he hit his head against the cage wall. Hey Robin, can I ask you a question? Let me guess, you are curious about our captain and navigator's relationship. Based on what you saw and heard yesterday, you and Kurama-san concluded that I was the best person to ask since I seem to know everything, Robin said with a smile. Wow, she hit the nail on the head. So you know what happened? Naruto asked. Yes, Naruto-kun, I know what happened. Nami told me, and even if she didn't, I watched the whole thing. Really, what happened? Nami was issuing her standard punishment on Luffy, Robin replied with a smile. Naruto gave her a confused look. Idiot, obviously they were experiencing the earthly pleasures of each other's bodies, Kurama yelled at Naruto. What the hell are you talking about, Kurama? Naruto asked. Phew, Robin laughed. No, Naruto-kun, when Luffy aggravates Nami, she typically gives him the beating of a lifetime plus a little extra. She added with a smile, I'll give you another hint, they like each other, and at least Nami has feeling for Captain San. Wait, so our captain and navigator are? Oh my god. Naruto screamed as Robin began to laugh again. Of course, Naruto's scream was so loud it woke up the man in the crow's nest, Zoro. Hearing the boy scream, Zoro leaped down to the deck with such grace and strength, and in one fluid motion he had his swords drawn. Looking around, Zoro could not see any enemies, though he stopped looking when his eye fell on Naruto and Robin. Huh? Robin and Naruto, what are you guys doing awake this early? He asked as sheathed his swords. Nothing much, Zoro-san, we were just discussing Luffy and Nami's relationship. It seems Naruto-kun has finally figured out what they were doing yesterday. She gestured to Naruto, who was curled up in a ball rocking back and forth muttering, wash away the horrors. However, thanks to a certain fox, he was not going to forget those images. Oh, you were talking about them. I thought we were under attack or something, Zoro said as he sat down. Wait, Zoro knows too? Naruto asked, snapping out of his moment. Yep, you have to be blind to not notice how much they care for each other. Plus she is the only one who he has given his hat to the most. So everybody knows that those two are together, Naruto asked the older pirates. Nope, just me and Zoro-san, Robin replied. Luffy and Nami, they know we know and they want to keep it a secret, so don't mention it to anybody, especially Cook-san. Inside the cabin, a blonde cook sneezed in his sleep. You can count on me, Naruto said with a salute. Oh Zoro, can I ask you something? You just did, Zoro replied with a smirk. Can I ask you something else? Naruto asked, a little aggravated. You just did. Hey, what gives? Naruto yelled in annoyance. Sorry Naruto, I just like messing with kids, he replied with a smirk. Can I work out with you? Naruto asked, bowing his head low. Zoro stared at him, noticing how familiar the scene was to him. Just 2 years ago he was kneeling before Mihawk begging the man to train him. This kid's got a little of all of us in him. How about I train you instead, Zoro said, but I'll warn you, I can be quite the slave driver. I say bring it, Naruto replied with determination. When do we start, Zoro-sensei? Don't call me sensei. I'm not that old, Zoro barked. We start right after breakfast. Naruto-kun, if you want I could help you with chakra training, Robin said to the blonde. You will? Oh thank you Robin-san, Naruto replied as he gave her a hug. Wait, I thought you couldn't use chakra though, he said as he looked up. Robin replied by raising her right hand as light violet energy swirled around it. I'm a fast learner, she said with a smile. Insert epic training montage music. Eye of the Tiger. Naruto's life with the Straw Hat Pirates went from great to awesome in one day, and Naruto could not be any happier. Zoro and Robin were teaching him not as teachers but rather as a parent would teach their children, not too demanding and ever patient with him. Zoro's training methods were a little insane at first, since he made Naruto wear 20 kg weight 24/7 while he would lift weights and swim at the same time. Kurama mentioned to Naruto that the training was actually helping since it developed his chakra reserves quickly as well as his stamina and strength. In 1 month Zoro had started to teach Naruto how to use a sword, only one though. Slowly Naruto was getting the stances and style down, but both knew it would be years until Naruto was ready to take part in a real fight. Sometimes Brook gave Naruto pointers on his swordsmanship. Both Zoro and Brook encouraged Naruto to develop his own sword style so he can surprise his opponents. Zoro's style relied heavily on aggressive attacks that wear down the opponent, while Brook focused on lightning quick strikes that would eventually take their toll. Once Naruto got used to the weight that Zoro gave him, he got it doubled to 40 kilograms and resumed their training as if nothing was different. Zoro never asked for Naruto to go beyond his limits. When he got close, Zoro would stop him for his own safety so the little kid wouldn't burn himself out. In all honesty, Naruto much preferred Robin's chakra theory methods. At first she had him perform chakra exercise such as tree climbing and water walking. Robin had to describe how water walking works, since the moment she touched the water she felt weaker, causing her to have trouble using her chakra. Once Naruto's reserves and control were high enough, which took the full 2 months of intense training, Robin allowed him to learn the Shadow Clone Jutsu, which he was excited about. Once he mastered the Shadow Clonus, he developed even faster with knowledge but not in physical strength. He needed Zoro for that. Naruto began to look into his former family scrolls once he knew the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Taking Zoro and Brook's advice, Naruto began to learn the Uzumaki sword style. The trick was to not have inner turmoil. In order to use these techniques at their fullest, one must have perfect peace inside them. Slowly but surely Naruto was building a whole new style. Though he really wanted to learn Zoro's personal style, he knew it was not his position to ask for it, he had to earn it. When he started learning the martial arts forms, Naruto found himself a little annoyed with them and the sword techniques. They all required chakra to enhance their abilities, and most of the forms involved using ninjutsu of Jinjutsu to defeat the opponent. Zoro told him that he fought several swordsmen who all had abilities, but never had he seen such blasphemy to swordsmanship. He told Naruto, in battle the stronger warrior survives. That is the law of battle, remember it well. I may not like the idea of using tricks to win a battle, but I do not hold it against those who do use them. All in all, Naruto truly felt happy among these strangers. No, he could not call them that. These people were his family. His brothers and sister, his uncles and his mom and dad were these people. Though he wouldn't call them these terms, they had already set themselves in his heart, never to be removed. Time skipped to December. Currently the Straw Hat Pirates were docked at a winter island that was celebrating some unknown holiday, called Christmas. Not one to deny a party, Luffy declared that they too were going to celebrate Christmas. All right, the entire crew exclaimed back at their captain. Over the next week the Thousand Sunny was transformed from a pirate ship into Holiday Central. Nami came up with the idea that they do a secret cena to celebrate their first Christmas together. Everyone liked the idea, especially the fact that they would be allowed to open them on Christmas Eve. Naruto was walking around town trying to find the perfect present for Sanji since that was who he got for Secret Santa. What did the man like besides food and women? Hey kid, I know what you should get the cook, Kurama said to Naruto as they passed a bookstore. Really, what should I get him? Head into that bookstore and ask for that little orange book in the window. The one that says Make Out Paradise, Naruto asked as he got a better look. I don't think I can buy that, Kurama. Nonsense, of course you can. All you have to do is transform into Sanji, then buy the book. Naruto was about to say something when he realized that it was actually a good idea. He had learned the transformation jutsu just last week and he was pretty good at it if he did say so himself. Alright Kurama, let's do this. So Naruto transformed into the love cook and bought the book with no problems. Once he was outside, Naruto stared at the book in his hand, vaguely remembering it. Turning it over, Naruto read the description about the author and was stunned by what he read. The author was none other than his godfather Jiraiya of the Sannin. You want to give this smut to Sanji-san? Naruto asked, barely controlling his building anger. Why the hell are you calling it smut, kid? It's a work of literature. Yeah, well, it's written by that bastard of a godfather, Naruto yelled back. Look Naruto, I am not saying for you to keep it, I am saying just give it to the cook. I'm sure he'll like it. Kurama sighed. Naruto, I see you as a little brother of sorts. I would never do anything to purposefully harm you, you know that. Yeah, I guess you're right, I shouldn't be mad. It's all behind me now and there is no turning back. Alright, let's get back to the ship and hit this once you wrap it. Yeah, once we are done we'll continue shopping for the others. Time skip Christmas Eve. Today was the day that everyone was anticipating. Christmas Eve. The day was typical for the Straw Hat Pirates until night fell, and then it got chaotic. All the pirates sat in a circle with 10 presents in the middle. The objective was to guess who got you your gift. Alright, who goes first? Usopp asked. Shall we start with the oldest? Broke asked, hopeful. Everyone caught his hint. I think we should start with the youngest, Robin said, much to Broke's disappointment. Alright, that means I go first, Luffy cried. Baka, she meant youngest physically, not mentally. Nami scolded as she lightly bonked him on his head. So Naruto goes first, all agreed, Zoro asked. Agreed, everyone said. Okay, which one's mine? Naruto asked as he eyed the pile. Ah, here it is, Naruto, Chopper said as he handed Naruto a package wrapped in orange complete with a blue bow and the word Naruto written in blue. He Naruto chuckled as he unwrapped the present. Inside was an orange cowboy hat. Naruto, for a moment, was at a loss for words, almost unable to hide the fact that this was one of the first presents he ever received. Sure, he got several presents back in Konoha, but never had they come from his family, so they didn't have as much meaning as this hat did. Looking around, Naruto scanned the crew for the one who gave him the hat. Well, Naruto, who gave it to you? Frankie asked. Since you asked, Frankie, I am going to say it was Usopp. Naruto said as his eyes landed on Usopp. Sorry Naruto, but it was not me, Usopp said. How do I know you aren't lying? I'm not, Usopp yelled. He isn't, Kit. Oh, sorry, my bad. So who gave it to me then? Naruto asked as he turned back to the crew. Sorry, we can't tell you and you only get one's chance, Nami said. Alright, who's next? The rest of the night was fun. Nami got a sack filled with 300,000 belly, much to everyone's shock. She easily guessed that Zoro gave it to her, which he did. Frankie gave Broke a brand new handcrafted guitar. Chopper gave Usopp some courage medicine for his I can't go on that island disease. Sanji got Luffy a bunch of food, which Luffy cheerfully devoured in less than 1 second. Zoro got a sharpening stone from Luffy. Chopper got medical books from Robin. Robin got a new book from Usopp. Now all that remained was Sanji to open his present. When Sanji opened his present, he was at a loss for words. I told you he wouldn't like it. Naruto said to Kurama. Wait for it, Kurama said back. Suddenly Sanji launched into the air from a monstrous nosebleed. Soon he landed back on the deck, eyes shaped as hearts with faint blood marks coming from his nose and a perverted smile on his face. I told you he would love it. Ag. Sanji. Chopper screamed as he began to run in circles. Quick, somebody call a doctor. You're the doctor, Zoro, Naruto, Frankie, Broke and Usopp said. That's right, Chopper yelled in surprise. Shish, Luffy laughed at the scene in front of him. Once Sanji had recovered from his nosebleed, he had to guess who gave him that wonderful book. Nami Swan, I know it was you who gave me that wonderful book, Sanji cried out as he entered his love hurricane mode. He was abruptly stopped by Nami's foot to his face. Sorry Sanji-kun, but Naruto must have given that smut to you since I gave him that hat. The pirates partied into the night without a care in the world. One by one they all fell asleep in anticipation for Christmas Day. Several months later, let's say around March, Naruto has been growing up and becoming stronger than ever before or could ever be in the elemental nations. Zoro had begun to teach him how to use two-sword style, which really got him excited. Hell, Sanji and Luffy were teaching him how to fight unhanded, and with the help of Shadow Clone as his chakra training had been going very smoothly. Even with all this extra training, Naruto probably would have wanted to go to hell for some R&R when this was all over. Of course, R&R is a rarity on the Thousand Sunny, especially when the idiot trio is constantly running around being idiots. According to the great and powerful Furball Kurama, Naruto's reserves may have been roughly the same size as a ninja that was in their late teens. Using the Namikaze scroll, Naruto was learning how to use the Rasengan that Minato had invented. It took him a week to be able to use the technique, though his version was rather unorthodox, since he couldn't seem to shape and spin the chakra at the same time. He used a shadow clone for that one. Naruto was determined to learn the technique one-handed, but for now the shadow clone method would have to suffice. Robin had remarked that even if he wasn't a genius or prodigy, he truly was a clever boy that could find a solution to almost every problem he was faced with. As the days became weeks and the weeks became months, Naruto slowly was forgetting about his life in Konoha, and the image of family had most defiantly been replaced by something completely different. If Killer Bee were to fist bump Naruto, he wouldn't see one or two suns like he would with an alternate version. He would have seen at least 9 suns burning brightly within the boy's soul. To Naruto, it didn't matter whether they were related or not, they were closer than the closest families in the world. Family no longer meant a group of people related by blood. It was now a term used to describe people that would love and support each other to the ends of the earth and back, and there did not have to be any relation of any kind. Over the last few months, the Straw Hat Pirates had gone all over the world, visiting islands new and old, seeing old friends and making new ones. One of Naruto's favorite places was the Sky Island Skypiea, with the city of Water 7 falling closely behind. Ridding the knock upstream was one of the most exhilarating and terrifying moments of his short life. Kurama had called the whole thing preposterous, as if a malevolent, sarcastic, perverted, giant 9-tailed fox demon was more common than an island floating in the sky. Needless to say, Kurama was speechless when the Thousand Sunny was flying into the sky and landed in the White Sea just outside the Heaven's Gate. Arriving on Skypiea, the Straw Hat Pirates were greeted by Shandarians and Skypieans with open arms. It was here that Naruto and Kurama heard the tale about the 400-year war and how it ended with the ringing of the golden bell by one Monkey D. Luffy. They even told him about how they were ruled over by a self-proclaimed, and if you ask me, he definitely had the power to back it up, god by the name of Enel, or Eneru, whichever you prefer, but I'm calling him Enel. The story sounded so unreal to Naruto and Kurama that if they weren't told by the people who witnessed it, they would have not believed it no matter what. It is hard to believe that your older brother figure basically kicked a god's ass when nobody else could do it, not even your monstrously powerful father figure. That was something Naruto liked about the Straw Hat Pirates. They didn't blab to the world all the crazy shit they've done, they kept it to themselves, telling the stories of their adventures to the people that it mattered to. Reputation and past exploits meant almost nothing to them. They just kept going forward, never looking back at the things they've done or the places they changed. Those things didn't matter. All that mattered to them were their dreams and each other. Something not many ninja thought about. Most wanted to make a name for themselves and become rich or famous before they died. Currently, the Thousand Sunny was on its way to some island in the Grand Line, and as fate would have it, was an island that they had never visited before. And unknown to all present, a certain event would occur on this day that would eventually result in a fated battle. A gloomy Luffy slowly walked out of the kitchen. The look on his face was something Naruto and Kurama had seen only a few times. He was hungry. When isn't he? We're all out of food, Luffy said as he glumly looked at his crew. That's impossible, we stocked up on the last island 3 days ago, Sanji said as he took a puff of smoke. There should have been enough food to last us a month. Now Luffy was avoiding eye contact with Sanji, a telltale sign that he had something to do with the food's disappearance. Luffy, Sanji growled, did you have something to do with this? No, I seriously have no idea what you are talking about, Luffy said as he sweated profusely. Oh okay then, I just thought. Suddenly he leaned in and took a closer look at Luffy. Are those crumbs? Damn, I thought I ate it all, Luffy yelled as he quickly moved to suck up the crumbs like a vacuum cleaner. So it was you, Bam, Sanji yelled as he landed a powerful kick to Luffy's head. While this was going on, Usopp, Chopper and Naruto were fishing off the side of the boat, desperate to not make eye contact with the cook since they were also partially responsible. Truth was the idiot trio and Naruto had an eating contest. Somehow they convinced Naruto to us the Cody was given. Out of the corner of her eye Nami noticed all three of them. A few moments later all four idiots were lying on the floor covered in bruises and lumps courtesy of Nami and Sanji. Dumbasses, Sanji said as he lit another cigarette. Now I have to change the lock again. Like hell I will give it to anyone except Nami Swan and Robin Schwan. You should get that done quickly Sanji-kun. We will arrive at the next island by tonight. Yes Nami Swan. Sanji swooned in his typical love hurricane. I hope you get sick from spinning too much, a certain swordsman said under his breath. Several hours later the Straw Hat Pirates landed on an uncharted island. Oh Usopp said shaking. I'll die if I go on that island disease. Shishi I smell adventure, Luffy said as he clapped his feet together sitting on the figurehead. Naruto looked at the island in awe. This was a new chance for adventure and new friends. Kurama however had other ideas. There was something on that island that made him shudder. Alright you all have your assignments, Sanji-kun, Luffy, Usopp, Chopper and Naruto you guys find food and water. Zoro where the hell are you going? Nami demanded. I'm going for a walk Zoro said as he began to walk towards the woods. Don't get lost Mosshead the blonde cook said. I don't get lost Arrow cook Zoro said as he disappeared in the trees ignoring the insults Sanji yelled at him. Anyway Frankie can you watch the ship? Nami asked. You got it sis. Frankie yelled as he got into his signature pose. Robin and I will explore the island. Broke you can do whatever. Yahahahaho. Alright Nami-san but before you go might I look at your whim he was met by Nami's roundhouse kick. Like hell I will, Nami yelled. The food scavenging party was having quite a bit of luck in their search for food. Of course the only ones who hadn't gotten anything were Luffy and Naruto. Alright you idiots why haven't you collected anything Sanji said. Well you see Naruto began I did gather quite a bit of food but I kind of got hungry so I ate it all. Naruto grinned at the end of his tail. Liar Kurama said you just didn't find any. Alright I'll buy that Sanji thought as he turned to Luffy and you. We were supposed to gather food? Luffy asked bewildered. I suppose as we should have seen this coming, Usopp said as he shrugged his shoulders. Chopper agreed. Alright Usopp and Chopper we're going back to the ship. You two he said turning to the two biggest troublemakers don't come back to the ship unless you fill those baskets. Yes sir okay Naruto and Luffy said as the other three headed back to the ship. Alright Luffy where should we look for food? Naruto asked. Dunno Luffy said while he picked his nose when we were little kids Ace and I used to live in a jungle like this. Who's Ace? Naruto asked causing Luffy to stop in his tracks. He was my big brother, Luffy said quietly. Wait Luffy has a brother, Kurama asked. You have a brother, Naruto asked in Kurama's place. I had two brothers actually. Come to think of it you remind me quite a bit of my other brother Sabo. Luffy said as he turned towards Naruto with his trademark grin you both have blonde hair and you guys even have the same voice. What happened to them? Again Luffy stopped in his tracks they died he said simply. I'm sorry Naruto said. Don't be, it wasn't your fault they died. Don't apologize when it isn't your fault. Who would have thought that this idiot could be full of wisdom Kurama said. Alright Luffy let's find some food. Yay food. Luffy yelled as he bolted off in a random direction with a grinning Naruto following. Elsewhere on the island a single apple on a tree fell to the ground. It began to shake slightly before turning an orange color with black swirls forming as if they were tails wrapping around the body. A dark figure arrived unseen finally we found it he said as he disappeared into the shadows. Back on the other side of the world Jiraiya was doing what he always did when he was visiting Konoha. Peeping on the women's bathhouse. He the pervert giggled as he watched with delight. Truth was Jiraiya was distracting himself from the biggest problem he had brought upon the village. Being unable to find Naruto. Over the past months Jiraiya had searched every nook and cranny of the elemental nations in hopes of finding his godson. He wasn't just searching for his godson's sake. He was searching for his village's sake more since Naruto was supposed to marry the Kuja Empress daughter. He had absolutely no lead as to where Naruto was the only one he had was when he saw Naruto on that strange ship heading east. Naruto the pervert sighed as he lowered his telescope I hope you return to us soon. Your family is falling apart. Kushina rarely is seen when she's around. Minato has almost buried himself in paperwork on purpose and Natsumi's personality has gotten worse. Why couldn't we fix it when she was younger? Now it's too late. Even though the people say they want you back I can tell they are glad you are gone, the bastards. He was about to return to his research when poof he found himself transported right to Mount Myaboku right in front of the Great Toad Sage. Ajaji-sama, Jiraiya said as he bowed to. What do I owe this honor? Jiraiya, I have just seen several images that even I cannot quite make out what they mean. I was wondering if you could help decipher them, the old toad inquired. You mean you've seen visions that even you cannot understand? Yes. Please show them to me. Place your hands upon my crystal ball and I shall show you. Placing his hands on the glass ball, Jiraiya found the scene around them change from the toad sage's chamber to that of what appeared to be a battlefield. Around them images blurred in and out of focus. Several images caught their eyes. The first was 9 animals standing side by side. A monkey, a tiger, a cat, a lizard, a ram, a raccoon, a crane, a rhino, and a horse. The image faded and changed to a massive black lion pinning a small yellow fox to the ground. This lion was surrounded by several dark images of animals whose forms could not be seen. Soon an image of the same lion was seen, only this time he was battling the monkey from the first image. Not much of that battle was seen since the scene changed yet again. The monkey had changed into a lion of its own with a mane black as midnight. The beast comforted the fox and the other 8 animals before walking away. The scene changed once more to that same lion sitting on a high platform, chained with a massive red wolf-like dog standing next to him. Suddenly the 9 animals from before returned with some more help. There was now a white tiger, a snake, a whale shark, a blue phoenix, a red lion, a large condor, a blue pheasant, a bear and a massive green dragon. Soon the visions become chaotic and strange, almost like a battlefield. The normal tiger clashed with a hawk and a purple tiger, the snow leopard clashed with a flamingo, the bear and rhino fought against an army of bears, the crane, cat, raccoon, and lizard fought against an army of dogs, the horse fought a spider, the ram and phoenix fought a yellow monkey, the snake fought a white dog, and the red dog clashed with the red lion, the blue pheasant and the dragon. Needless to say, this was so bizarre. There were many other animals partaking in this battle on both sides. The visions did not end there. The lion was escaping alongside a lioness when the red dog blocked their path. The beast attacked the female lion, but for some reason the blow never came. One final time the scene changed. This time the lion was standing over a body that had smoke coming off its chest. The beast looked straight at Jiraiya and the great toad sage. Anger and hate filled his eyes. He looked at them, gaze piercing into their souls as if they were the ones that did it. The images stopped there as the toad sage's chamber phased back into existence. Jiraiya was dumbfounded by what he had seen. Never before had he seen anything of the sort. Apparently a war was coming and it was going to be massive. So Jiraiya the sage said, what do you think of these images? I honestly cannot say, but I believe that they represent a war among all the summon animals. Over what I am not sure. I am worried about this impending conflict. If it truly is a war among the animals, then why did we not see the toads or slugs in it? Surely they should have been there. The old toad commented, an animal war is something completely unheard of before. Perhaps I should warn Minato of this. I do not deem it wise, my boy. Minato already has his hands full with the issues they have brought upon himself, the toad said as he took a puff from his pipe. Why involve yourself in a conflict that does not involve you? Yes, Ajaji-sama, Jiraiya said as he lowered his head. Be wary, Jiraiya, whenever this war occurs the world will change for better or for worse. When we last left our heroes, they had taken a stop on an uncharted island in hopes of restocking their supplies, which a certain 4 people emptied in a single night. Oh yeah, and the great toad sage had received some troubling images and shared them with Jiraiya. Alright Luffy, let's find some food. Yay food. Luffy yelled as he bolted off in a random direction with a grinning Naruto following. Elsewhere on the island, a single apple on a tree fell to the ground. It began to shake slightly before turning an orange color with black swirls forming as if they were tails wrapping around the body. A dark figure arrived on scene. Finally we found it, he said as he disappeared into the shadows. Luffy, Naruto cried as he chased the rubber pirate weight up. Hearing Naruto, Luffy stopped dead in his tracks. Bonk. Naruto ran right into him. What's wrong? Luffy asked as he turned around. Why are you lying down? He asked Naruto. Ah, Naruto said as he rubbed his head. I'll admit that one hurt, he said as he got up. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm just fine. Chasing after a rubber idiot with no sense of direction through a beast-infested jungle just to find an amount of food large enough that we can bring back to the ship before he eats it all, Naruto ranted. So you're fine? Luffy asked. Okay, Luffy said, grinning like an idiot before Naruto could respond. Great, this guy doesn't even notice sarcasm when it's right in front of him. Wait, why am I surprised by this? Kurama said. Hey Luffy, maybe we should split up. I'll go this way and you go that way. When we're done we'll just head back to the ship, which is south from here. Got it, Luffy said as he bolted off in another direction. Naruto was left speechless by Luffy's action. Does he even know which way south is? I doubt it. Naruto wandered the jungle gathering food of all kinds along the way. Before too long the sun was setting and Naruto thought it was about time to head back to the ship. Hey Kurama, how much do you think Luffy got? Do you really wanna make a bet about it? Kurama asked. Not really, cause we both know he probably didn't get anything, nor will he get back quickly. Naruto kept looking for some extra food until he came across a clearing. Looking around he only saw a single apple tree with some apples lying on the ground. Hey Kurama, did anybody have any apples? Nobody did, Kit, the giant fox replied. So without caution Naruto picked up one of the fallen apples. This apple however was different from the rest, and with only moonlight and starlight Naruto could not see any of its features. This apple was orange in color with black swirls all over it. It was a devil fruit, though neither Naruto nor Kurama knew that. Unlike Naruto, Kurama could sense a strange aura coming off of it. It was a familiar aura to him, almost like he was looking in a mirror. That's very interesting, he said to himself, but he was brought out of his thoughts by one noise. Munch. Naruto took a bit out of the devil fruit, giving him whatever powers that it held and taking away his ability to swim forever. Naruto's face became a twisted completion of disgust. That apple was without a doubt the worst thing he had and will ever eat. In all honesty, he would have rather eaten his own shit before that fruit again. In a fit he attempted to cough up that piece of the apple he ate to no avail. What the hell, Naruto? Kurama yelled at the blonde. Didn't anybody teach you not to eat food that has been on the ground for more than 5 seconds? No, but Sanji did beat into me to never waste any food. Besides, I was hungry. Suddenly he felt a sharp pain in his stomach. Ard, he groaned as he clutched his stomach in pain. He fell to his knees and threw his head back and screamed, ah. Try imagining your guts and internal organs ripped out of your body and then they are lit on fire just before they are dumped in a vat of acid, and remember, you can feel all that happen. That is similar to the pain Naruto was going through right now. Ba-bump, a pulse of energy was released. It was massive and moving fast, to where who knows, but it knew exactly what it was searching for, even if it was on the other side of the world. Back in Konoha, Minato Namikaze was just about to start training his daughter Natsumi. Ever since his eldest son was kidnapped, the 4th Hokage has sent out hundreds of Anbu teams to rescue him with no results on his location. His family was falling apart because of his blunder and there was no way he could fix it. Even though Natsumi was his little princess, he was beginning to see what Kushina had told him. She really was an obnoxious brat. However, unlike Kushina, he figured it would be better to follow an appeasement solution with Natsumi. If she wanted something, he would give it to her so she wouldn't get crazy. Kushina had more of a earn something method for the girl. Needless to say, Natsumi preferred Minato to Kushina. Even with both methods, her attitude never changed. Upon further investigation, Minato discovered that the common villagers saw Naruto as the reincarnated Kyuubi, which disgusted him. Hiruzen and he had sacrificed everything to keep them safe, and they are repaid with Naruto being treated less than dirt. Truth be told, Minato did feel responsible for Naruto's treatment. He really wanted Naruto back. At first it was only because of the possible alliances that could be made if Naruto married females that were related to the Kage and lords of the other nations. But as the months dragged by, he wanted Naruto back just because he wanted to make it up to the poor boy. Looking back in photo albums, Minato noticed there were almost no pictures of Naruto, but there was a surplus of tear stains, evidence that Kushina had looked through the album multiple times. Not only that, but he had made no effort to correct the village's ignorance, or to train Naruto, which was something he should have done alongside Natsumi's training. Speaking of Natsumi's training, Minato had begun to teach her the Rasengan mainly because she begged him for it and she begged to sign the Toad contract. When Jiraiya came by with the contract, he was strangely quiet, nor did he stop by the hot springs. He didn't have that much luck finding Naruto either, and he was the one with a spy network that ran all throughout the elemental nations. Jiraiya had told Minato that he last saw Naruto on a strange ship, but he couldn't reach it in time and he had no idea where it was going. Thinking about all these things reminded Minato of Kushina. Kushina had moved out of the estate several months ago. This was painful for Minato. He was practically on his hands and knees begging for her to stay, and he even had the audacity to claim that he couldn't live without her. Kushina told him if he wanted her back, he would have to first find and apologize to Naruto for everything they did and didn't do to and for him, because that was exactly what she was going to do. She even warned him that if he forcefully brought Naruto back to the village, she would pack up everything and leave, and when she said everything, she meant to take Naruto as well. Why should he be forced to live in a place he could never call home? Kushina was currently living on her own in a small apartment. It had a living room kitchen combo, a bathroom, a deck, a small study library combo and 2 bedrooms. As of this moment we find her sitting in a rocking chair in the living room reading the tale of the gutsy ninja out loud to her large stomach. Yes, Kushina was pregnant again, 8 months if you are wondering, and this time she was determined not to screw up as royally as she did with Naruto and Natsumi. Shortly after Naruto had run away, Kushina vowed to never have any more children until Naruto forgave her and or returned to Konoha, whichever came first. When she found out she was 3 months pregnant she had broken down into tears, since it was only 4 days since her vow to not have children. Originally she wanted to have an abortion, but her friends and the rational part of her brain convinced her otherwise. Naruto's friends, the only ones that cared for him, had all convinced her not so see this child as a replacement of Naruto, but rather the child would be a fresh start and a constant reminder of what she lost. I promise, little one, that I'll always love you no matter what, and I will always be there for you. She said these words as she put the book down. They had become part of Kushina's ritual for letting her unborn child know that she will always be loved and wanted before it's even born. One day, little one, you, me, your father, your sister and of course your brother will all be one big family again. Though she knew in her heart that the chances of seeing Naruto again were low, let alone him returning to them. She then prepared to leave for the Namikaze estate when a knock at her door snapped her out of her thoughts. I'm coming, she called out as she walked towards the door. When she opened it, standing before her was a sweating version of Kakashi Hatake. What is it, Kakashi? You know I would be able to handle it if you shined in here. It's Natsumi. Huff. What? Huff, something's wrong with Huff. Her seal, he said as he tried to catch his breath. Sensei needs your help right now, Huff. Kushina's eyes widened in shock. Sarutobi Hiruzen had used the dead demon consuming seal to seal the Kyuubi's chakra into Natsumi. It was a seal powered by the death god. There was almost no way to break it. The only way it could be broken is if somebody used the key, which was well hidden by the Monkey King Enma. I'll be right there. Just because she no longer lived with Minato and Natsumi didn't mean she didn't care for them. Besides, she felt responsibility for her daughter's behavior and well-being as much if not more than what Minato felt. When she arrived at the training grounds in the back of the estate, Natsumi was rolling on the ground, clutching her stomach and screaming bloody murder. Kushina, thank Kami you are here. The 4th Hokage cried as he struggled to hold Natsumi still. Please help me restrain her so Jiraiya can fix the seal, he ordered. Quickly the Hokage and his wife pinned their daughter to the ground with her arms by her sides. The whole time the girl never stopped screaming her head off. Upon looking at her seal, their eyes widened. The seal was burning red like fire right through her shirt. Hell, it was burning through it, evidenced by the smoke steam coming off her stomach. What the hell happened, Minato? The redhead asked. I don't know, he replied. She was fine a minute ago when I taught her the first stage for the Rasengan. Then you were teaching her the Rasengan? Kushina yelled furiously. Minato was sweating ball right now. They had agreed to not teach Natsumi the Rasengan until she was at least Chunin, but he had jumped the gun. Yes. We will talk about this later. The woman growled. Right, Sensei, what's going on? He asked. To be honest, he didn't have the slightest clue either. Jiraiya looked up from the girl's stomach. I have no idea what is happening. However, I can send a bit of my chakra into the seal to see what's going on. Do it, the girl's parents screamed. So Jiraiya sent some of his chakra into the seal. Once inside, he looked around. Natsumi's mindscape resembled the Namikaze estate, but here it was falling apart. With haste he ran around the entire area looking for the source of the disturbance. He found it in the location of the Kyuubi's chakra. There before the gate that kept the chakra in was a black figure. Its body was made of black smoke with 2 horns like projections coming off of its head and a tail. The being was clearly trying to open the gate. Stop right there, Jiraiya called out. The figure stopped what it was doing and turned towards the toad sage, giving the sage a frontal view. It had no nose, pointy ears and eyes that were red like fire. Who dares, it said. Just saying those words put an uneasy feeling into Jiraiya. Jiraiya had seen many things in this world, but this was definitely not one of them. What are you? Me? I am what is known as an Akuma, a devil. I am here to return what was taken. Are you talking about the Kyuubi's chakra? Is that what they call the furball? Tahahaha. Figures, you humans don't bother to learn his name. Now if you'll excuse me, I have something I need to do, it said as it turned back to the gate. Oh yeah, and before you say anything, the devil is more powerful than the god of death, so be gone. It commanded. Just its command forced Jiraiya out of Natsumi's seal, throwing him back in the real world. Return to yourself, Kurama, and be grateful for the back door that was created for all you Bijou. Kaboom! With those words, the gate holding back Kurama's chakra exploded, unleashing the chakra upon the world. I wonder if the sage knew that by creating his grandchildren he also forced the creation of their countermeasures, the devil said to himself before he vanished. Jiraiya, Minato and Kushina yelled at the sage. What happened? I am unsure, but from what I saw, the devil himself is opening Natsumi's seal. We have to. Boom. He was cut off by a very large pulse of chakra that threw them all back. Natsumi began to convulse violently as a stream of blood-red chakra came out of her seal. The entire village now turned towards the source of the noise. Needless to say, they were all frozen with shock and horror when they saw what formed behind the Namikaze estate. A pure chakra version of the nine-tailed fox. Roar, the beast roared to the heavens as another shockwave was released. Cruash. The shockwave was so intense that it leveled everything within a half-mile radius. All the people of the village were knocked down. The beast's body then transformed into a stream of fire with only the head remaining intact. The beast let out one final roar before it vanished in a red flash. When the dust settled, everyone gathered around the now demolished Namikaze estate. Thankfully nobody was killed or seriously hurt by this fiasco. Minato had several cuts and burns, mostly because he was hunched over Kushina protecting her. Kushina only had small cuts on her arms from protecting her stomach, and she was bleeding from her head courtesy of a rock. Jiraiya only had a broken arm and leg, so he wasn't too bad. Natsumi, however, was the worst of all four. She was still unconscious and was lying in a crater. Smoke was still coming off of her seal, which had burned itself into her skin, never to go away. She was bleeding all over her body and was a ghostly shade of white. Not only that, but she was no longer the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi's chakra. The burning fox head raced across the globe searching for the one who called it. When it found him, zeroed in on its target. With blinding speed it shot towards him like a falling star and entered into the seal on his stomach. Boom! A small shockwave was sent across the entire island upon its entry. Naruto looked down at the seal on his stomach as it faded away. What the hell, he said as he collapsed to the ground and blacked out. Naruto! Kurama yelled just before he too was consumed by the darkness. The burning fox head raced across the globe searching for the one who called it. When it found him, zeroed in on its target. With blinding speed it shot towards him like a falling star and entered into the seal on his stomach. Boom! A small shockwave was sent across the entire island upon its entry. Naruto looked down at the seal on his stomach as it faded away. What the hell, he said as he collapsed to the ground and blacked out. Naruto! Kurama yelled just before he too was consumed by the darkness. As Naruto lay there unconscious, three figures appeared in the clearing, two men and a woman, and they were most certainly not members of the Straw Hat Pirates. Are you sure this is where you found it, Shakian? The woman asked. She wore a black dress that went down mid-thigh. It had sleeves and revealed a lot of cleavage. She wore incredibly high boots with 3-inch heels that left about 2 inches between them in her dress. Her hair was tied in a braid and it hung over her right shoulder. All in all, she was freaking hot as hell. Shakian, as he was called, was a man that stood at around 6 feet tall. He had short black hair with a purple mohawk running down the middle. He wore an open gray shirt with a black tie, blazer and pants, and he wore sandals on his feet. Yeah, I'm sure that it's here, Jennifer. I said it was under an apple tree in the middle of a clearing. Is that not what I said? He said with a hint of annoyance in his voice. He really didn't like women that much, especially when one was to be considered as superior. Damn bitch. Jennifer ignored that last comment as she led the other two towards the apple tree. At the base of the tree they saw something they did not expect, a young boy lying face down in the dirt. Ha 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 ho, what do we have here? The third member of the group laughed as he stood over the unconscious form of Naruto. This man was much older than the other two. He had a long silver beard and mustache that reached his toes. He was completely bald and wore sunglasses despite it being night out. Like Shakian, he wore black, except his was more like a robe than a suit with white trimmings. Being old, the man he leaned on an equally old wooden staff. As he investigated the boy, something next to him caught his eye. There it was, the devil fruit they were looking for, except there was one problem. There was a bite taken out of it. It appears that he was correct, Jennifer. The fruit was here, however he failed to mention that a brat ate it. Tell us, Shakian, why did you leave it here and get us when you found it? Shut up, Apollo, Shakian yelled. How was I supposed to know a brat would eat it? You do realize you could have brought it back to us, right? Shakian's eyes widened with shock. He honestly never thought of that. Keeping a straight face, he walked over to the tree. So stupid, he yelled. Wham! He slammed his head against the tree, breaking it and sending the upper portion flying. While Shakyan was smashing his head against trees and Apollo was poking the boy with his staff, Jennifer thought over the situation carefully. We have been on this mission for the last 18 months. And this was the only lead we could find. Now it's a dead end. She proceeded to place her head face in her hand. The director is not going to be pleased with this, she sighed. So what should we do? Are we even sure that this was the fruit he wanted? Apollo asked as he poked the boy. I'm sure that was it, Shakyan replied. It matched all the descriptions given in the legends that we found. This would have been easier if it was recorded in the Devil Fruit Manual. I say we call the director and see what he wants us to do, Jennifer said. That's a horrible idea, Jennifer, Shakyan said. Jennifer is about to retaliate when Apollo spoke up. I say we call the director and see what he wants us to do. That's an excellent idea, Apollo. Shakyan said. Give me a minute, I'll call him right now, he said as he pulled out a transponder snail. That was what I just said, you assholes, Jennifer thought. Butte up, butte up, butte up, butte up, butte up, butte up. It rang. Butte up, butte up, butte up. Click. Hello, a voice answered. Oh, it's you, Ling, Shakyan growled. Is the director there? Sorry, he can't come to the snail right now, so please leave a message after the beep beep. At this time, Jennifer, who had about just enough of these idiots as she so delicately calls them, grabbed the snail. Look here, Ling, we don't have time for you to be fooling around. We have an urgent update for the director concerning the devil fruit he's had us looking for the last year and a half. Right away, Jenny-chan, the man on the other end said. I told him to stop calling me that, she growled, clearly getting more pissed off by the minute. Shakyan and Apollo, however, were snickering like idiots behind her. Shut up, you idiots, she yelled. Hello? Jennifer, are you there? A new voice said from the transponder snail. Yes, director, I am here, she said. I take it you three found it. Yes, but, the voice asked. A child ate it. What? Ouch, damn, that's hot. Somebody get me a towel, I just spilled my coffee. At this, all three sweat dropped. Seriously, why did they have to work for this guy? After that little fiasco, the snail calmed down a bit. Damn, if somebody ate it, that really throws a monkey wrench into the operation. I knew I should have sent Grim and not you three. At the sound of that name, all three of them shuddered in slight terror. Clearly this Grim fellow was not somebody you wanted to mess with. No matter, bring the child back with you. This may be a blessing in disguise. Make absolute sure nobody knows that he's missing. Understood. Yes, sir, all three said as the snail went to sleep. Back on the Thousand Sunny, the other 8 Straw Hat Pirates were starting to get worried. Luffy and Naruto had been gone for a while now. Hell, Zoro was back before them. Not only that, but that loud boom and sudden wind really worried them. Alright, that does it, we're going to look for them, Nami ordered. Let's split into groups so we find them faster. I'll go with Nami, Swan and Robin-chan, Sanji bellowed with hearts in his eyes. Sorry Sanji-kun, but I think I'll go with Zoro, Robin said, much to the cook's dislike. Damn Mirimo. Damn Mirimo, Sanji said as he beat his fist into the ground. Don't blame Miero Cook just because she chose to be with the better man. What did you say? Sanji asked, going into fight mode. You heard me, dartboard bra. Shitty swordsman. GRR, Zoro and Sanji growled as they got within an inch of each other's faces. Everyone could see the sparks flying as clear as day. Bonk. Nami hit them both on the head, leaving several lumps. Idiots, she said, clearly irritated by their antics. Damn witch, Zoro said under his breath. Ah, Nami Swan is so beautiful when she's angry, Sanji said in love mode. I call Frankie, Chopper cried just before Usopp. Oh, I wanted to go with Frankie, Usopp pouted. Maybe next time, Usopp, for now go with Brook, Nami said. Yahahahaho. The skeleton laughed. I just remembered something important. He turned towards Robin and Nami. Before we leave, can you show me your thwack? He was cut off by Sanji kicking his skull. I am surrounded by idiots, Nami said as she placed her head in her hands. Sorry, not today, Brook, Robin said with a hint of amusement. Super. Frankie yelled as he struck a pose. We all have our partners, so let's go. Aye, the crew responded. Chopper, we're taking the Black Rhino, the cyborg told the reindeer. Quickly they raced to the soldier docking deck. Wait, you guys, we need to decide who's going where. Nami cried after them, but Chopper and Frankie were already on the Rhino-themed motorcycle when they heard her. Let's ride, little bro. Frankie said as he finished restyling his hair into its original look. Vroom. Once they left the dock, they heard Nami call out to them. You two take the southern part of the island. Brook and Usopp, you two take the eastern side. Robin and Zoro, you guys take the western. Sanji, you and I will take the northern. Is that okay with everyone? Yeah. No problem. Sounds like fun. I'm all set. Super. Yahahahaho. Anything Nami Swan says is a good idea. Good, let's go, she said. Meanwhile Luffy was running around the whole island looking for Sunny, Naruto and that weird red light he saw, really whichever he found first. Damn, where are Naruto and the ship? He said to himself while he scratched his head. That red light was pretty awesome too. I wonder what it was. Oh well, Naruto said the ship was south of here, so if I go in the warmest direction I'll find them, he said with a grin. Sh, I'm so smart. 5 minutes later Luffy found himself back at the Thousand Sunny. Huh. By pure luck that's huh. Oi guys, I'm back, he called out. No one responded. Hey, where is everyone? He wondered. Boing, he shot his arms onto the Sunny and pulled himself onto her. Snap, his arms returned to their normal length with a snap. This is so weird, maybe they went back onto the island. He closed his eyes and let his spirit wander the entire island looking for his nakama. Alright, there they are, he said as he found everyone, but where are Naruto and his fox buddy? Oh wait, there he is, he said as a smile spread across his face. Suddenly 3 presences caught his attention. Whoever they were strong, with Naruto and not friendly. Luffy's eyes snapped open as he turned towards the northwest section of the island. Here I come, he said as he took off in that direction. In a marine base not far from the island a man sat at his desk and stared out the window behind him, his back to the doors of the room. He had lavender hair that was slicked back and was roughly shoulder length. He was noticeably slim in stature, a sign that he was high-ranking and had others do most of his fighting. A marine soldier entered into the room. Excuse me, director sir, Grim is here. Good, send him in. In walked a tall man roughly 6 feet tall. His figure was shadowed, however one could see the large claymore strapped to his back. Ah, Grim, come and take a seat, the director said as he turned around, his face covered by shadows. The man standing across from him gave no response. I take it your last mission was successful, Grim nodded. Excellent. Now I have another mission for you, the director said. What is it? The man said. It appears that Shakiyun, Jennifer and Apollo have found the fruit I sent them after, however a child ate it. Kill all witnesses and bring that child to me alive. I cannot count on those 3 to do the job. You want me to eliminate them? No. Good God, no. Just make sure they make it back alive and whole. Consider it done, Grim said as he turned to leave. Wait, Grim stopped. Bring the brat back unspoiled. The director commanded. He could be a valuable asset to us. It will be done. Fwoosh, Grim vanished from sight. Damn, I almost forgot how specific you have to be with Grim as to who he can kill and who he can mess up. The director went back to looking out at the sea. Just in time to see Grim fly off towards the island on a large flying reptilian creature. This is actually turning out quite well, even though I wanted to eat that devil fruit. Once those 4 get back I will have in my hands the ultimate weapon. Convincing a child to help me should be a piece of cake. They are pretty stupid anyway. Then with the government's ultimate assassin team and the most powerful Zoan, nobody can stop me. I will rule the world. Wahahahahaha, he laughed to himself. The burning fox head raced across the globe searching for the one who called it. When it found him, zeroed in on its target. With blinding speed it shot towards him like a falling star and entered into the seal on his stomach. Boom, a small shockwave was sent across the entire island upon its entry. Naruto looked down at the seal on his stomach as it faded away. What the hell, he said as he collapsed to the ground and blacked out. Naruto. Kurama yelled just before he too was consumed by the darkness. Naruto awoke and found himself in a familiar place. At first he was confused about where he was. It was a sewer filled with water that was up to his ankles. Naruto found it rather odd that he felt weak in such a small amount of water, but he passed it off as nothing. Naruto, a voice called his name. It was definitely a male speaking. Naruto raced through the halls of his mindscape until he reached the source of the voice, Kurama's cage. Correction, where his cage should have been. There was nothing there, not even Kurama. Naruto, the voice called again. It was louder this time and sounded similar to Kurama's voice. Who's there? The blonde asked. Oh, for the love of Kami, the voice said to itself. It's me, dumbass. Kurama. About damn time you got here, brat. I know I shouldn't do this, but I'm bored, the furball said. Do what? Naruto asked, but he was cut off. Crack, the entire area began to break and fall. Chunks of the ceiling and walls fell all around him. Crack, more fissures appeared and the chamber began to rumble as if it was going to collapse at any given moment. What the hell's going on? Naruto screamed. I'm getting you out of there. Crush, Naruto's sewer mindscape completely collapsed, revealing a white space. The only splash of color was Kurama, who was now easily 3 times his original size. Kurama? What the hell happened to you? Let me show you what happened, the fox said as he reared his head. All 9 tails circled him, pointed towards his open maw. Small balls of blue and red gathered together forming a massive. When I say massive I mean 5 times the size of Kurama, black ball. He then condensed it before swallowing it. Boom! Kurama fired an enormous blast of chakra, careful not to hit Naruto. Kaboom! It caused a massive explosion in the distance. Holy, Naruto said wide-eyed. That's right bitches, Kurama is back at full power. Oh hell yeah, the fox cheered as he started to dance. Naruto just stared at the dancing fox wide-eyed. Natsumi was supposed to have Kurama's chakra sealed in her. Hiruzen had separated it so that Natsumi would have better control over the chakra since the fox's influence wouldn't be there. But here before him stood Kurama at full power, and if he had all his power back, what the hell happened to his sister? Confused are you? A new voice said that caused both Naruto and Kurama, once he stopped dancing, to turn towards the newcomer. It was an elderly with spiky gray hair. He wore a high-collar cloak and a necklace with 6 megatama. In his right hand was a staff with a ring adorning it. His eyes were light purple in color with a ripple pattern. Next to him stood a shadowy figure with horns, a tail and red eyes. Gigi, Kurama asked as tears formed in his eyes. Good to see you, Kurama, the old man said with a smile. It's been several hundred years. 900 by my count, Gigi, he said while smiling. Kurama, who the hell is that old guy? Naruto asked as he pointed at the old dude. Bonk, show some respect, Baka. That's Gigi, also known as the Sage of the Six Paths. That's fine, but I don't see how this concerns me. What? Naruto was completely shocked. This old guy was supposedly the strongest shinobi to ever exist. Gahahahaho, the sage laughed as he watched the scene play out in front of him. Wheat. A loud whistle was heard, gaining everyone's attention. I understand that this is a touching reunion for you, Hagoromo, but would you please explain to these two boobs why they are here? The shadow figure paused for a second. No time to explain, summarize. Right, I am known as the Sage of the Six Paths, but my real name is Otsutsuki D. Hagoromo. What I am about to tell you is extremely important, but you cannot tell a soul about it. You both know that my 2 sons became the Senju and Uchiha clans. Yeah, they were quite the pricks if you ask me, Kurama. This isn't true, the sage said as he lowered his head. What? Kurama yelled. Ooh, a plot twist, Naruto said, getting interested. I had a total of 4 children, 3 sons and a daughter. The 2 that you know were born after I became known as the Sage of the Six Paths, and they were twins. My eldest 2 were my pride and joy, but in gaining such a reputation I lost them. What do you mean, Gigi? My eldest son, Hao, ate a devil fruit, probably what could be considered one of the most powerful Zoan devil fruit, able to compete with the Typhon no Mi, the Biju no Mi model. Juubi no Datarabachi. So your eldest son was a devil fruit user, both Naruto and Kurama asked. Yes, and for the longest time he had control over his human and hybrid forms, making him far stronger than me. Not once did he attempt to transform into his full beast form out of fear. One day he did transform and all hell broke loose. What do you mean? Naruto asked. Umi was held hostage by some rival shinobi that overpowered me. When all seemed lost, Hao arrived. He didn't just beat down those men, he absolutely destroyed them. And in that split moment of bloodlust he transformed into his full monster form and lost control, destroying everything in his path. Umi tried to help him regain control of his monster form, but it didn't work. He fired his version of the Biju bomb point blank at her, he said as tears rolled down his face. He lost control? Kurama asked. I thought you became a beast with a human mind. Normally with a Zoan it's easy to control. But take your friend Chopper for example. 2 years ago he would lose control when he changed into his monster point. Now he has control. The Shadow Man said. Enough of this, back to your sob story, old man. At the time I could do nothing to stop the beast that consumed my son and killed my daughter. The sage said as fate would have it, after a year of running away from it I found a devil fruit called the Hyuzu no Mi, fuse fruit. It gave me the power to fuse and split anything. I hoped to use that power to save Hao, and after a long and difficult battle I weakened the beast enough to separate Hao from it. However, instead of reverting back to a fruit, the beast remained for some unknown reason. Like I mentioned before, in order for me to split things like I did with Hao and the Juubi, I must fuse either part of what I split. I intended to fuse myself with the Juubi, but Hao stopped me. Why the hell would he stop you from doing that? What happened next? Hao forced me to fuse with him. Once the fusion was complete, Hao became the dominate force. Hurry up, old man. Using the 10 dragon seal he split the beast from its chakra and resealed the monster within himself. In our mindscape he told me his final wish. Flashback no jutsu. Hao turned to his father. Hey old man, I have one last favor to ask you. What do you mean last, Hao? Please use Chibaku Tensei to make a prison for me and this monster and cast it into the sky. I will make a prison for the monster but not for you. You are my son, I cannot lose you. I unleashed this beast and killed Umidad. The least I could do to redeem myself is to take this thing to hell with me. At this time the most powerful shinobi ever had waterfalls flowing from his eyes. Without further delay he embraced his oldest son for what would be the last time. It's okay, Dad. It's okay. Chibaku Tensei. Doom. A massive moon soon hovered in the sky and the sage split his son from himself and prepared to imprison his son in the moon. Don't see this as goodbye, rather whenever you see the moon I'll be there, the young man said to his father. I love you. I love you too, Hao said with a smile as he fused with the moon. Flashback no jutsu end. Holy shit, Naruto and Kurama were both stunned. The last memory of my eldest son is his smiling face. Then you used creation of all things to create me, my bros and sisters, Kurama said before he noticed the sage's face. Let me guess, not exactly. Kurama, in all honesty, using creation of all things kills the user since it uses his or her life force to create life. I created you Bijou using my devil fruit abilities. I split the beast's chakra into 9 and fused each on with a Zoan type I spent a long time searching the world for. I used 7 mythical zones and 2 regular zones to create you 9, Hao's children. What? Kurama was stunned. You were all just masses of the 10-tailed monster's chakra that ate devil fruits thanks to my abilities. For instance, you, Kurama, have the abilities of the Inu Inu no Mi model Kitsune. This is where I come in, Smokey said. In order to maintain the balance of the world, 9 new devil fruits were created to act as countermeasures and backdoors for the Bijou. You blonde ate the Bijou no Mi model Kyuubi no Kitsune, which was one of those 9. I still don't get what they do, Naruto said, tilting his head. Smokey face-palmed. I'll try and explain this simply. The Bijou are masses of chakra that were fed devil fruits. In Kurama's case, Inu Inu no Mi model Kitsune, he can create foxfire anywhere on his body, transform, copy others and create illusions. Wait. I've been able to do those things this whole time. Gahahahaho. Tahahahaha. Hehahahaha. I haven't decided on Naruto's laugh yet. All 3 laughed at Kurama. It's been 900, Kurama. I was sure that all of you would have at least discovered your other abilities by now, the sage said as he wiped away a tear from his eye. What about me? Naruto asked. Right, your fruit was made as an escape route and countermeasures for the Bijou. Once consumed you were transformed into a true Jinchuruki. Question mark. You and Kurama are now one yet 2 different persons. Question mark. It was Kurama's turn to be confused. Again, Smokey face-palmed. On your own, Naruto, you can turn into a 9-tailed fox or a human 9-tailed fox hybrid. Kurama now has the ability to leave your body and manifest a physical form anytime you want. When you two are united, Naruto can do everything that Kurama can do. Oh, I get it now, Naruto said, finally understanding his new powers. So are you two going to train us in our powers? Hell no. Smokey said, where's the fun in seeing you two screw up using them if we teach you? I'll tell you a little secret about all devil fruits. What? Naruto and Kurama asked, completely interested. They are limited by the user's imagination. Now you should start to wake up. 3 people are carrying you away from your friends. Who are they? I don't know. Smokey said, though he really did know, but even as you are now you won't be able to scratch them. But don't worry, your mother, father, sister, brother and uncle are heading right where you are now. Naruto flinched slightly at that comment, thinking Smokey was talking about his biological family. Wait, brother and uncle? Yes, those pirates that you befriended. The sage said they are your nakama, are they not? Damn right they are, Kurama said. Well then it's time for you to wake up, the sage said as the poked Naruto's forehead with his index finger. Know this, Naruto, there is a war coming and no matter what you do nothing will change whether you are involved or not. People will die and there is no changing it. One could be you. If you die, then who will save the elemental nations? I really don't care, Naruto said as he began to fade. The sage chuckled as a smile crept on his face. Soon he and Naruto and Smokey faded away. Back in the real world, Naruto opened his eyes. And guys, this is the end. I hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Disappears in a maelstrom of fire.